I'm actually we're gonna read through the poem, and then I'm gonna have you guys try out the first read, which we've been practicing together. I'm gonna have you try that out somewhat on your own. So first, do I have a volunteer who'd like to read the poem? Titi waves goodbye.
I will, miss.
Go for it. Featured on my YouTube. Go for it.
Okay.
So scroll down. The poem's on the second page of the assignment. So the first page is the checklist. Right now we're scrolling to the second, which is where you'll see the poem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my best friend, Titi, is crying hard. Snotting the hem of her pink fluffy blouse. Her two brothers are also sniffling inside the car, packed to the roof with suitcases. Titi shoves into my hand a tin of flower seeds. We gathered last fall. We hope to plant them together. She waves from the back window of their rabbit-shaped car. Her tears mixed with long strands of hair. Long hair I wish I had. I could be standing there crying and waving to nothing if Brother Coy hadn't come to take my hand. They're heading to Vung Tau.
Good.
He says, which is where the rich go to flee Vietnam on cruise ships. I'm glad we've become poor so we can stay.
Thank you. Nice reading, beautiful. So what we're gonna do, and I do want you to start this on your own. So just a few of these things. If you scroll back up to the first read, next to where it says first read, I'm gonna have you write down the word yellow. So write the color yellow, like actually spell it out. Because everything for your first read today, I want you to highlight in yellow. So if you go through, what you're gonna do in a moment, I want you to start thinking about some of these basics. So what is the subject of the text? Who are some of the characters that are mentioned? Where is it taking place? So for instance, I'll do the first one so you can see a quick model. The subject, the main focus of this poem is Titi. So I'm gonna highlight actually just in the title for now, because it also pointed me in the direction of knowing she was the subject, is that her name's mentioned throughout the poem and is included in the title. So I'm going to highlight her name in yellow, and then I'm going to press insert. I think yours says new comment, but comment. And then I'm going to do what we did yesterday where I write subject equals TT. And I'm even going to put Ha, because Ha is included here. Obviously, she's the one telling the story, so she's part of being the main focus. So, but the main subject of this is Titi. For your actions, and again, I'm going to give you a few minutes here to try some of this on your own. You don't need to put an annotation on the sideline of all the action that's happening in the poem. I suggest just going through stanza by stanza and highlighting the important actions that you see happening. So for instance, I would start by saying this is probably pretty important to the poem, that Titi's crying pretty hard, right? Some stanzas, there might just be kind of a supporting action that's occurring, something happening. I want you to go through and try and figure out where the most important events are in this poem. So let's start with that. Let's just go through and do the action for now. So highlight in yellow where you see the action taking place. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then I'm going to call on people. So just worry about the action. So where do you see the main events of this poem happening? Highlight them in yellow, and don't worry about making a comment box yet. So I did the first one for you. I put in the subject and I highlighted the first action. Now you're going to find the rest of the actions that are mentioned and important to this poem.
Miss, do we have to type the subject? Do we have to type the subject?
Yeah, I would type the subject out so you have it. So if I put something on the side, follow along and do it. For the actions, you don't have to go and list out every action in a comment. You could just highlight those for yourself.
Mhm.
So write down the subject like I did, highlight Titi's name and put it there, and then just go through and highlight your actions.
Wait, Miss, what are we doing? I was busy signing into my YouTube account and subscribing to your YouTube channel.
Well, thanks for following. So you're going through your poem, the poem Titi, and you're highlighting the main events that occur. So where do you see the main actions? I did the first one with Titi crying. And then go through the rest of the stanzas and highlight in yellow just where you see the main action happening. We're just going to take another minute. Just highlight, don't worry about your comments. All right, let's talk. What do people have for main actions? So I did the first one, TT crying hard. What's another one people came up with?
I have a few. I'm gonna do my
Give
second.
me one.
I'm gonna do my second one because my first one I'm not so sure about.
Okay,
TT
go ahead.
shoves into my hand a tin of flower seeds.
Awesome. So TT hands her this tin of flower seeds. This one is definitely important. We're going to actually come back to this idea momentarily, but we have this event here where TT's giving her this like kind of parting gift. What was the one you weren't sure about?
Her two brothers are also sniffling. I'm not so sure about that one because it's not really main event.
Yeah, what does everyone else think about that one? What do you guys think? Just curious. I'm not trying to say right or wrong, but what do you guys think about that one that David had? Two brothers also sniffling. He said he's a little uncertain. Did anybody else highlight that one? You there? Anyone else highlight it? Just yes or no, even is
I feel
fine.
bad for Miss. Yes, I highlighted it, Miss.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did too.
You did too? Yeah, perfect. So if you highlighted it, I mean, it's definitely an action. If you highlighted it, I wouldn't say you're wrong.
Sorry, Miss. Sorry, Miss. I was
That's
getting a
okay. You
snack.
guys don't have to apologize. I appreciate.
I was getting a snack because I was a little hungry, but yeah, I highlighted it.
Okay, so if you highlighted it, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Do you think her two brothers sniffling is a main event?
No.
Again, I said it's not a main event.
Yeah, so you think it's not a main event. I don't. I'm trying to see what everyone else thinks too.
Miss, do you
Even
think
if-
it's an event?
Do I think it's a main event?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with this. What's the main event of the poem, like the big event? What's it all about?
TITT.
TT doing what?
Oh, TT, yeah, TT.
And what's happening with TT?
Fleeing Vietnam, right?
TT
Good.
waves
Yeah,
goodbye.
exactly. Her family, I heard Maria say it, her family's fleeing Vietnam. So again, if you highlighted this one, you're not wrong. It's okay to have this. I don't necessarily think it's a main event of the poem because it's not necessarily focused on TT, which is what we said the subject is. So again, if you have it highlighted, you're not wrong. You don't have to unhighlight it. I'm not going to mark you for that. But I would say sometimes you can be careful about being a little bit picky about some of the main events, or at times you may end up having a whole highlighted story, which is what we don't want. So if you would like to unhighlight it, fine. If you want to leave it highlighted because you think it's important, that's again up to you. I would say if it's not necessarily focused on TT or Ha, I might stay away from it because her brothers aren't the focus. It's important and it's good for us to know too, but it's not a main event. What else did people have going towards the bottom? Maria,
I
what did
think
you
she,
just mention that they were doing? Go ahead. I think you're about to speak
I
anyway.
think she waves from the back window.
Yeah, that's a good one. She's waving from the back window because what's that telling us about Titi?
That she's sort of driving away or leaving.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
waving
That
from the back
they're
window.
leaving. Exactly. They're gone. She's in the window of the car. They're actually leaving. How about in this next stanza? Someone else have one? Danielle, can you give me an action from this paragraph I have highlighted up on my screen? The one that starts, I would. What's something that happens there? What's an action? You can put it in chat or say it out loud. It's up to you. Or if you have another one. You there, Danielle? I'm looking at the paragraph that said, or the stanza that said, I would still be standing. What's the happening in that one? What's the action we could make note of? Someone else want to help out? What's happening here?
Oh, I got you. I would be. Which one? For the one that you're above or the top one?
Yeah, I would in that stanza.
Okay, I would be standing here crying and waving. So basically, Titi's trying to say that it's basically saying Titi would say goodbye to her brother and she would be crying. She would be sad.
Is she saying goodbye to her? So who is she saying goodbye to?
Her brother, uh, her brother
Who's
Chloe.
who's the I here? I would still be standing there.
Titi,
Is Titi
right?
telling the story?
Huh?
Someone else. Who's
Ha.
talking? Ha.
Oh,
Ha is the one saying
ha.
I would still be standing there, crying and weaving. How come she's not? What happens? Who comes to help her? Who comes to help Ha?
Her brother.
Her brother. So I think the action here is Brother Koi comes to take Ha's hand. Because Ha's just standing there like waving at the car that we said was driving away.
Miss, I got a question.
Yes.
Are we really going back to school on the 4th?
The 4th of what?
January?
January?
Because everybody keeps telling me that and I don't believe it.
I haven't heard that, so I can't confirm or I can't
Exactly.
deny. But they haven't had the meeting yet. I think the meeting about when they're hoping to return is not till next week. So there's no date yet. People might just be saying after the holidays, which maybe, but they haven't given us any specific date.
Okay.
We shall see. And how about towards the end here, Daniela, where is TT going? What's this last action they're talking about? Where are they
I don't know.
headed to? Go ahead.
The Vong Tao, or however you said that,
You're good, yeah.
in place
And how come they're going there?
because of the war that's in Vietnam. So they're fleeing so they can be safe.
Exactly. So they're fleeing Vietnam so they can be safe. They're going to Vung Tau. I like that you use that word flee. So that's another main action, probably one of the bigger ones in this poem is that, and I know Maria mentioned it too, that Titi and her family are leaving. They're saying goodbye because Titi's family's going elsewhere. They're fleeing Vietnam. How come Titi's family is able to go?
Because they're rich or have money.
They're rich. It's where the rich go to flee Vietnam. Who's not rich? Johnny L, who's not rich? Who can't go?
Uh,
Look at the last line or so.
Brother, no. No. Sorry.
You there, Johnny L? Who's saying they can't go to Vietnam or can't go to Vung Tau? I'm glad we've become poor so we can stay. Who's saying that?
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Ha.
So
But she's
Ha,
happy that they're not leaving.
sorry, John, why are you going 10 minutes in? Yeah, so Ha is happy that they're not leaving. How come? What does she not want to leave behind?
Um,
Hang on one second.
her proprietary.
Okay, that's part of it. She doesn't want to leave for proprietary. And if she's leaving Vietnam, what is she leaving behind? What would she have to leave behind?
Like
Her,
everything, her home.
yeah, her home, her proprietary, her life, her school, her memories,
Her
right?
friend.
So you're exactly everything she'd have to leave behind. So for this last line, if you got kicked out or you're just coming in, hold on one second and I'll talk with you. Just so we can finish this thought is we have our narrator, the person who's saying, I'm glad, and who's narrating this is Ha, right? And Ha is happy she does not have to leave home and her life behind. However, what is she devastated about? Or sad about? Devastated.
TT leaving.
Exactly. However, she's devastated. Her friend, probably her best friend. John, what's been going on? Nice of you to join us. Maybe.
We don't talk about those
What's going on?
moments in life where you just don't want to do anything.
What?
We don't talk about those moments in life where you just don't want to do anything.
I can't hear you very well. I talk about the moments when
You just can't do anything.
one of those days. You weren't here
Yeah.
yesterday either.
I know. Tomorrow, tomorrow's gonna be my first class, right?
Yes, tomorrow's a new day. So try and
Then-
come on time so I can get you caught up on what we're doing.
I know. Tomorrow
You'll
I'm
have-
gonna do all my work.
Okay, I'll put up the YouTube videos for stuff too, so you can go onto my YouTube channel and catch up that way as well. The
Okay.
last thing I want you guys to think about for this comment I'm putting at the bottom, and again, make sure you have this added in, so insert new comment, is what point of view is this written in? Because this is part of the first read as well. What point of view?
Third.
Why do you say third?
Um.
The poem's up on
First?
my screen if you want to look. Yeah, it's first person. How come?
Alright.
Because it's ready from Ha's point of view again.
Exactly. Ha's point of view, and we get Ha's feelings, which is why right underneath it talks about how she's happy. She doesn't have to leave home. Like we're getting her personal experience and her feelings. So you're right. It's Ha's, her thoughts, her feelings, and her story. Okay.
Miss, what is that last part? Oh yeah, never mind. Okay, I can see it now.
Do you see it? I can zoom in a little bit too. Is
Yeah, can you zoom in?
that better?
Yeah.
Ooh, David, I'll have to check out your video.
Okay, miss, it's not too good, plus you can't comment on it. Comments are off. But my channel name is my first and last name.
Okie dokie. The very last thing, and then I'll let you free, because our first read, I just want to get it done while we're here, is where is the setting? Because first read, we should always think about the setting. Where is this taking place?
Vietnam.
Vietnam, we see that they're fleeing Vietnam, so let's highlight where it says Vietnam. And more specifically, where might this actual poem be happening?
Titi's house or no, Ha's house.
I would say Titi's house or Ha's house. I'm not quite sure, but clearly they're outside one of these houses watching, saying goodbye and watching Titi drive away. So I'm just going to put Titi/Ha's house, but they're somewhere obviously in Vietnam at one of their houses. Awesome, guys. So just make sure you've gotten the first read stuff done with the actions. point of view characters, stuff
Yep.
like that. I know we still need to briefly mention the characters, but I think at this point, based on what we've been talking about, that'll be easy to do. I'll have you start with that tomorrow. And then we'll finish this one up with the second, third, fourth read, which actually kind of go quickly the more, basic knowledge we've built up. And then the second part of class tomorrow, you're going to practice one of these on your own. So there's another poem where you'll do the same thing, but either in a group or independently. Okay. So there's no homework unless you're missing anything for me or you didn't do this today. Again, please use my YouTube channel because it's awesome. And I am teaching the lesson over again. So if you need help, you can just go and see the lesson and get some of the work done that way, or just reach out for help on my email or the Remind app.
Miss, what is your YouTube channel called?
I think it's my name, my full name. Emma
Yeah, it's your
Giordano
full
20
name.
Is there a number at the end? If you look up
No,
at my
it's
screen for a
just
minute,
hold on.
at the top of my Teams page, Milani, for English, there's a link,
Yeah,
or
it's
there's
just
like where all the files are. You can hit where it says more, and there's like a link right to my actual channel, and then you should be able to subscribe that way. Let's see what it's called.
Okay.
Emma Giordano. 11 whole subscribers. I have to put up a few videos from earlier this week, but the ones from last week, or the pre-reading stuff we did from last week, should be up there. And then I'll upload the rest
wait,
of
Miss,
that.
where are the ones you did with my class? Your
think
class.
that one I have to upload still. That one's going up today. I have a few that I need to catch up on because they take some
Well,
time
Miss, you
sometimes.
might
But I'll do
not-
that actually right now.
My channel right now is more of a gaming channel. Just has one video, but the only video it has is a gaming video.
Well, I'll check it out. We can be